He thought he was untouchable, just another billionaire having fun at the world's expense. But one harmless prank and a splash of red paint turned his life into a living nightmare. The crowd wanted blood, his family disowned him, and every door slammed shut in his face. It all fell apart in days. But let's start from the beginning. The wheels of Justin Mason's private jet had barely touched down in London before he was already mapping out the ultimate, legendary vacation. You know the type, booze flowing like a river, private VIP lounges, and the kind of wild stories that only rich kids can pull off without consequences. Justin, 32 years old, heir to a multi-billion-dollar empire, lived by one rule: if it isn't fun, it isn't worth doing. Within hours of arrival, Justin and his entourage of high-profile yes-men hit the streets near Buckingham Palace. The place was crawling with tourists snapping photos of the iconic royal guards. You know the guys, those tall, unblinking statues with their fuzzy hats, standing there like someone hit the pause button on them. "Yo, look at these dudes," Justin chuckled, pointing at one of the guards. "Are they even real? They're just standing there like wax figures in a museum. Creepy much?" His friends laughed, feeding off his energy. "Come on, Justin. Bet you can't get one of them to flinch. I dare you." Justin's eyes lit up. "Flinch? Bro, I'll make a move and go viral at the same time. Let's make this a show." The guy was addicted to attention. If there was a crowd, Justin was putting on a performance. He pulled out his phone, ready to record his next masterpiece for his social media followers. As he strutted over to one of the guards, he could already hear the crowd murmuring. Cameras were lifting. Tourists were whispering. Everyone loves a good scene, right? "Okay, everyone, get ready. This is about to be a classic," Justin laughed, uncapping a bottle of red paint he'd bought earlier as a joke. He took a long, dramatic pause before dumping the paint onto the guard's pristine white uniform. The red spread like wildfire across the man's chest and helmet, dripping in thick streaks. For a split second, there was stunned silence. The guard didn't move, not even a twitch. His face was stoic, but his eyes, cold as a winter's night in Siberia. Then, the whispers turned to gasps. Tourists stepped back like someone had just triggered a fire alarm. Phones flashed, videos rolled, and Justin stood there, expecting applause or at least laughter. "Oh, come on, people, relax. It's just a prank, just a little paint, no big deal." He waved his phone around, grinning like an idiot, but the atmosphere shifted fast. It wasn't funny anymore. The guard remained still, but two security officers from the palace didn't. They were storming toward Justin with laser-focused determination. One of his friends whispered nervously, Dude, I think you went too far. They look pissed." "Pissed?" Justin scoffed. "This is entertainment. They'll get over it. Just wait till the headlines hit. Rich American pranks the royal guards. It's marketing gold, bro." But the officers weren't looking to shake hands and take selfies. They were here to shut the whole thing down. The tension in the crowd became palpable. Some tourists even started recording the security approach. "Yo, it's just paint," Justin repeated, his smile faltering for the first time. He tried to play it cool, but deep down that uncomfortable, sinking feeling was setting in. The security guards grabbed his arm. "Sir, you're coming with us." "What? Wait, are you serious? For paint?" Fury. Justin's voice cracked. He instinctively looked at his entourage, hoping for backup, but they were backing away slowly like they didn't even know him. One guy mouthed, "We're out," before slipping into the crowd. Great friends, right? Justin glanced at the cameras, which were now all aimed at him. This wasn't just a prank anymore. It was turning into a full-blown spectacle. And for the first time in his life, he wasn't in control of the narrative. He didn't know it yet, but this was the moment everything began to crumble. The next morning, Justin woke up to his phone going crazy. Notifications exploded like fireworks, missed calls, texts, headlines. "Oh, great. Free publicity," he thought, yawning. He tapped on a headline, "American billionaire humiliates royal guard in public stunt." He chuckled. People really can't take a joke. But as he scrolled, it hit differently. Thousands of comments flooded every video of the prank. Typical spoiled rich guy who thinks rules don't apply to him. This isn't funny, it's pathetic. He should be arrested. Enough is enough. His smirk faded. The tone wasn't playful. It was pure outrage. Still, Justin wasn't fazed. He called out to his friends, "Yo, check this out. I'm trending. This is gold." He laughed. Any publicity is good publicity, right? Ryan shuffled over bleary-eyed. He squinted at the screen. Dude, I don't think this is the kind of hype you want. These people are mad. Mad? Please. It'll blow over in like 2 days. Justin waved it off. This is how the internet works. People get mad, then move on. He had no clue how wrong he was. By noon, his phone rang again. His assistant sounded panicked. Justin, we've got a serious problem. Your bank just froze your accounts. He blinked. What? Over paint? Are you kidding me? They called it a reputational risk. Oh, and your dad's company's distancing itself. They're holding a press conference. Justin frowned. Wait, Dad's throwing me under the bus? Also, the Queen has requested an official investigation. Justin's jaw dropped. The Queen? Over some paint? This is insane. He immediately called his father, pacing furiously. Dad, you're letting them turn this into a circus. It was a harmless prank. His father's voice was ice cold. You embarrassed the family on a global stage. Do you understand the damage you've caused? Damage? Come on, it's just internet trolls overreacting. No, Justin, this is bigger than you think. You're on your own now. Don't call me unless it's to clean up your mess. Click. Justin stood frozen, the weight of those words sinking in. On my own? He can't be serious. But the hits didn't stop. By afternoon, activists in the U.S. were pulling skeletons out of his closet. Old reports from former employees surfaced, detailing how Justin had treated them, especially Black and Latino workers, with zero respect. News anchors ran segments on his pattern of entitled behavior. British authorities followed up by filing formal charges, vandalism, and disturbing the peace. His lawyer warned of a possible arrest. The headlines multiplied, hashtags calling for justice dominated social media, and late-night hosts mocked him relentlessly. Justin panicked. This can't be happening. It was just paint. Even his friends started ghosting him. Ryan muttered something about needing to lay low and slipped out. The rest stopped replying to his texts. By nightfall, Justin stood alone at the window of his suite, watching the city lights. For the first time in his life, he wasn't untouchable. Fear crept in like a shadow. He was losing control, and fast. Justin thought he could lay low and ride out the storm. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. News about him wasn't just trending, it was everywhere. He tried booking a flight out of the UK, but every major airline had him flagged. Due to recent events, we are unable to accommodate your request, was the polite version of, get lost, pal. Fine, I'll just crash at one of my usual hotels, he muttered, trying to act cool. But every call to his go-to 5-star resorts ended the same way. Polite apologies, awkward pauses, then rejections. He wasn't just blacklisted, he was radioactive. Justin's anxiety skyrocketed. He pulled on a hoodie and sunglasses, trying to blend in. Not exactly his usual style, but desperate times. On the streets of London, though, blending in wasn't an option. People started recognizing him. Hey, isn't that the guy from the video? Oh my gosh, it's him, the rich jerk who poured paint on the guard. Suddenly, a crowd began forming. Voices rose in anger. Privilege won't save you now, buddy. Justice for the guard. Justin's heart pounded. He ducked down an alley, the shouts following close behind. He couldn't breathe. His world was shrinking by the second. How did things get this bad? He stumbled into a rundown area, spotting a shady-looking motel on the corner. He hesitated, but had no choice. He slipped inside and slapped some cash on the counter. Room. Now, he gasped. The clerk gave him a long, suspicious stare before handing over a key. Room 12, end of the hall. Inside the cramped, musty room, Justin collapsed on the creaky bed. The wallpaper was peeling, and the air smelled like stale cigarettes. This wasn't how his life was supposed to be. He checked his phone. Bad idea. Viral clips of his prank were still circulating, but now there were new videos. Stories of former employees and strangers sharing their run-ins with entitled billionaires like Justin Mason. He wasn't just a joke anymore. He was a symbol of everything people hated about privilege. Comments rolled in non-stop. He thinks he's above the law. People like him need to be held accountable. Justin tried calling his lawyer. The ringtone seemed to stretch forever before a tired voice finally answered. Justin, what do you want? Look, I need help. Things are getting out of control. The lawyer sighed heavily. Help? Justin, do you even get what's happening? You're toxic. No judge is going to take your side. You've burned every bridge you had. Come on, you're supposed to represent me. Represent what? A sinking ship? Listen, my advice, turn yourself in. There's no other way out. The call ended, leaving Justin in deafening silence. He threw the phone across the room, but the sound of shattering plastic didn't help. He was unraveling, and he knew it. There was no more escape. A knock at the door shattered his thoughts. Peeking through the window, he saw a mob gathering outside the motel. Activists with cameras and signs blocked the exit. "We know you're in there, Justin. Come out and face justice." Panic clawed at his chest. He paced, considering his options. None of them were good. Eventually, he stumbled to the bathroom mirror and stared at his reflection. "Who are you now, Justin?" The once arrogant smirk was gone. His eyes were hollow, shadowed by fear and exhaustion. Hours later, Justin made his decision. He opened the door, hands raised in surrender. The crowd erupted as law enforcement moved in to arrest him. Cameras flashed like fireworks, capturing every second. His face, pale, terrified, was broadcast live across the globe. People on the street cheered as he was escorted to a police car. Some shouted insults, others filmed for social media. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare, and Justin was the star. As the car drove away, he stared out the window at the flashing lights and crowds fading into the distance. This is it, the end of the line. He wasn't the powerful, untouchable heir anymore. His money, his name, none of it could shield him from the consequences. He was now a cautionary tale, a headline in the worst way possible. For the first time in his life, Justin Mason was truly alone. What would you have done in Justin's place? Do you think he deserved what happened? Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you or someone you know ever faced similar situations with public backlash? Let us know. Your perspective matters. Don't forget to like and share if this story resonated with you. This story was created to raise awareness about the dangers of unchecked privilege and the power of accountability. Together, we can shed light on social issues and make the world a better place. Your voice matters.